In this video, you are going to learn about basics of how to create migration and how to apply them. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Well, hi, I'm Shubham and subscribe to become a better software developer. You know what we'll do is we'll go to admin.py. We'll import all our models here. So you can import it in various ways. I like using from .import models. Okay, or what you could have done is from the app name, that means blog.models, import everything like model post, then comment. You can do this way also, or from blog import models. You can do any of the way, but since it is in the same directory, I like using this. And what we'll do is admin.site.register, we'll say models.post model. So what we have done is in the admin side, we are registering something called as post model. Copy this, paste it, and we'll register even the comment model. We'll save this. I'll show you in a bit why we are doing this. So if we go to settings, actually urls.py, over here you can see that there is something called as admin. That means Django comes built in with admin panel, where you can do all the CRUD operations in all the models only if you are a super user, or if you are given particular permission. So let's try to run the project and see if we are able to access this admin. So what we'll say is python manage.py. Actually we need to navigate inside our directory. So src python manage.py run server. Actually if you see over here, we are getting some pillow related error. That is because in models, we are using a field called as image field, and for image to work in Django, we need pillow. So let me quickly show you how to install pillow. It is pip install pillow. Now let's run our project. We'll get few errors and I want to show you how to do that. We are getting some error or warning, you can say 18 unapplied migration. Okay, that is fine. Let's try to access our admin side. So we'll go to browser, localhost 8000, and over here you can see the project page, which is fine. Let's do admin, and over here you can see that it is saying no search table Django sessions. That means something is wrong. What is wrong? If you had noticed in the while running the server, we had got issue saying that 18 unapplied migration. So that was the issue. We are going to fix it by running two commands. Those are migration related commands in Django and they are very important. So please note them down and please listen to me carefully. So first command we are going to run is python manage.py migrate. And when we run this, whatever migrations are already created, those will be applied in the database. At the start, I had told you that Django already comes up with user model and other related models. So those models migration were already present in our project. So in order to persist those migrations or models, to convert them into database tables, we have to migrate it. So for that, the command is the one which I ran, that is python manage.py migrate. And when we run this, it will take up all the migration files and run it. And how are those migration files? I will show you in a bit. So let me stop this and we'll do is python manage.py run server. And now if we see, there is no issue over here. Like if you go even on top, there is no issue, no 18 unapplied migration. So those are applied to the database. Now let's go to our browser and refresh this. We are able to get this login screen where it says Django administration. That means we need some user. Now how do we create the user? In order to create the user, again we can go, you can stop the server, but what I'll do is I'll create a new tab. Actually my environment is already activated. Let me navigate inside src, and what I'll do is I'll create a new super user. So to create super user, the command is python manage.py create super user, and over here it will ask me for username. I'm going to give it as admin. Email address you can ignore because this is a super user. Password you can give anything. I'm giving for now admin, and because of that it will complain saying that password is too short, username is too short, all the errors which it is configured with. So I'll say yes, that means create it anyways. Now if we go over here and let me enter those credentials, I will say admin, and admin is already present. If I log in over here, you can see already that we have something called as groups, users, then blog has comments and post. So if we click on groups, this is related to authorization and authentication, and user is where we create all the users into Django. So right now we have created admin, right, where we had entered username as admin, so that is there. Then first name, everything else is blank. Over here you can see that we have permission called as active, staff, and super admin, super user. So this super user means you are able to log in into Django site, Django admin site, and you can make changes to it. Super staff or staff status will allow you to log in, but you have to give particular permission to that user so that we can use he can do operations only in those particular tables. And active means, of course, users should be active to log in onto our site, anywhere on our site. And this we can ignore for now. I will teach you in later videos, and these are the details. Now let's say that in blog we have created post and comment model. So let's go to post, and over here you see there's again error, no such table blog post. But let me clear this. But I had told you about migrate command, right? So let me run it again, python manage.py migrate. When we run this, no migration to apply, but it says your model in the app's blog have some changes that are not reflected in the migration and so won't be applied. That means we have done some changes in our model inside blog app for which migrations are not yet created. So let me clear this. And in order to create any migration, and this will be done whenever you change any particular thing in the models.py. So for that, what we'll do is python manage.py make migrations. Please note it is python manage.py make migrations. So what it will do is it will take all the apps models and figure out which model has some changes into it, or which models are added, or which models are altered, and it will create migration file. Before that, let me show you one thing. Over here in the src, in the blogs, over here migrations, you can see there is nothing, only init and py cache is there. Now let me enter this. When we enter it, it creates blog / migration / 0001 initial. And if you look at migration folder now, over here you can see some file has been created. We are not really going to touch it until you become an advanced Django developer, because this can mess up things a lot. So now what we'll do is we'll try to run that command. So python manage.py migrate. Now it says applying this, and now since over here you can see OK has come, that means it has been applied successfully. So let's go back to our browser, refresh this, and we can see it is working now. Even comments is working, and we can do is add a post, and it will give me all the fields those were that we have created over here: title, slug, content, status, hero image, and owner. Title, slug, content, status, hero image, and owner. So this is why make migrations and migrate command are very important. And even you learned about super user command. And you know what, whenever you're committing these changes into GitHub or any other such platform, then what you have to do is you have to add this migration file, add and commit it, because it is important that you commit. When I was young and when I was learning Django, I wasn't told that it had to be committed, and like at start I had faced lots of issues because of not committing these migration chain files. So I'm telling you in advance that you need to commit these particular files also. So now what we'll do is we'll create one data. So let's say first blog, or we'll call it as blog1, give it some slug. So first post, some content, draft, hero image also, let me choose something, and owner will be, for now we have only one user, so we'll select that, we'll save it. And if you go over here, you can see an object has been created, and if we click on this object, it takes me to that particular detail page where we can do all the changes. But if you go back over here, you can see it says post object 1, which is not really human readable. So we'll go to models.py, and in this one we are going to write something. So I'll call it as def underscore underscore str underscore underscore. This takes in self, and will return is self dot title. Okay, so that means what we have done is we have overridden the dunder string method where it returns self dot title. Title is this particular field name. We'll save it and we'll go back to the browser, refresh this page, and over here you can see the name of or the title, whatever the title content is, that is brought up over here. So this is what I wanted to show. And I know I told you that if we make any changes into models.py, we have to run migration and migrate it, but it is only related to the field changes. Okay, so if there is any change into field, or if we have renamed any field, or if we have created a new field, that is the time when we run migrations, and not when we add string annotations and class meta, all those things. Okay, I know it was a very long video, but I hope you have learned all about models into Django. And that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.